You know that the question and answer was immediately after watching the movie. Okay, I'm sorry.
Antonio, let me start with a question to you. It's 18 years since Atame, and I'm wondering what it was like to work with Pedro this time.
In a way, it was going back home to work in my own language, going back to work with my family, in a way, because not only Pedro Almodóvar is his brother, Tinin, who's a producer with us, and José Luis Alcaine, director of photography, José Salcedo, editor. There's a number of people that I used to work with them in the 80s. And he's going back, actually, to a type of cinematography that I was actually hungry to go back to a person who has broken all the cinematics, gravity laws in Spain, all the codes, the rules of making movies in terms of narrative and the issues that he treats. He's just going back to get in the mud, to get dirty with creating something new, and it has been a wonderful, beautiful celebration.
Elena, when you first read the script, what was your impression and how did you imagine your role?
Well, I was wordless, speechless, like you guys. Very impressed, and you know, it was like, for me, I dreamed about getting a beautiful script in my hands like this, with such a complex and incredible character, but having Pedro there, and of course Antonio too, was over, you know, over everything I expected. And I was very happy also for Pedro being so wild, going so farther with his story. And I just wanted to kiss him all over his body.
Before or after the New York Film Festival? And Pedro, looking at this work, there's so many, for me, echoes and traces from earlier films. How do you see it within your work from the beginning? In many ways, many people have said the film is a departure, and yet there's much in here that those of us who've watched and loved your films can really certainly see, again, expressed.
I think I understood everything, but you don't mind to be translator of yourself? You want to listen to this? No, okay, listen, yeah, tell me everything just in front of the, I'm directing you. This is part of the show, anyway. This is a punto de partida. I don't know, I don't analyze my work so much or so deep, just if I am alone. But if you ask me, then I'm going just to do it. I'm conscious that there is themes that I work before in my earlier movies, but for me, I got the impression that they were completely new, or at least, I don't know if completely, but quite new. I mean, in this movie, I approach one genre that I didn't before, which is the horror movies. I don't mean this is a horror movie, but there is a part inside, like what you saw it. In the middle of the movie, like 20 minutes, that really belongs to that genre. And that was completely new for me. I mean, that it was new that I mixed genre, like always, I always did. But things like subjects, like, for example, sexuality, I think I treated here in a completely different way than before, even the opposite way than before. I mean, in my former movies, I did it like supporting these people that they have to struggle just to become what they really are. I mean, the identity theme, it was already in that movies, but here the sexuality, just to give an example, is treated like a punishment. I'm thinking of this like a punishment, I think is the more awful nightmare you can imagine. I'm also conscious that the movie is darker than the others, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like un punto de partida,
Point of departure.
in my career. I mean, I don't think like to make another movie. I mean, the following movie like very much in this line. I hope that I will surprise myself and I will surprise you with with the next movie. But it's true that I felt, like something, I was doing something new in my career. Even the things were familiar to me, but under my point of view, I was much more austere than ever. And I really don't know how to explain it.
Let's get some questions from all of you. Yes.
Marco, do you believe that there is a difference essentially between men and women?
Do you believe that there is a difference, an essential difference between men and women?
There is, but I know how to differentiate one to and not to the other, but I cannot tell you, I can explain you which is this difference. And this movie talks about that. Talks about the identity or identity. Pero lo que intento decir, una de las cosas que dice la película, es que la identidad del individuo no solo no es susceptible a todo el tipo de manipulaciones a los que la cirugía estética tiene acceso, sino que la identidad del individuo está más allá incluso de los genitales. Ni siquiera depende de los genitales que tiene ese cuerpo. Pero sin embargo yo creo que uno entiende perfectamente y diferencia lo femenino de lo masculino. Por lo menos yo lo entiendo.
Yes. What I was trying to say, one of the ideas that I was trying to say is that identity is not something that can really just be so simply manipulated. It really exists beyond plastic surgery and even beyond gender identity. And but with that there is really finally a difference between the masculine and the feminine.
I mean, for me, it was very important when the character of Elena just arrives to her village and to the boutique of his or her mother. She realized that doesn't matter what her appearance is, that is completely different and completely manipulated, that she is the same person than 6 years ago before leaving the same place. That was very important for me. That, the identity, the soul, the spirit, whatever you want to call it, but it's in terms of gender too, I mean the feminine or masculine, it's something inaccessible, it's something not incorporeal.
Not incorporeal.
But it's very, but it's incorporeal, it's probably the same. This is a good joke. But I heard, talking about this gender thing, I heard that here in the United States, this is for me very typical of the United States, because it doesn't happen, at least that I know in Europe, that there are young people that don't want to be identified in terms of gender. I mean, there is like non-gender identified or
Gender-specific. Non-gender-specific.
Non-gender specific.
Gender-free.
Gender-free, yeah. And I got an example which is very interesting and funny even. Is the daughter of a friend of mine. The friend of my friend is a linguistic, so her daughter doesn't want to be called her or daughter, but to call it it or they. But the mother is linguistic, so es algo, quiero decir, es una contradicción tremenda para la madre, para la cual el it y el they tienen un significado.
It's for the mother a tremendous contradiction. She's a linguist, and it and they just don't have a meaning in terms of her daughter.
I mean, I was so amazed. I think it's a wonderful piece to make a comedy about, gender identification. Just to pretend to be called like it. I mean, in Europe, in Spain, if you call lo Richard, it's almost like insulting. Lo Richard, lo Antonio, lo Pedro. Thank you.